أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. My dear audiences and my dear friends, brothers and sisters and relatives, and those who are watching through Facebook, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great pleasure for me to attend this Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, and at the very beginning of this Mahfil, I would like to express my deep gratitude to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the only one creator of everything, by saying Alhamdulillah, all praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, in today's Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, we shall have a discussion on verse number 31 from Suratul Hajj. Suratul Hajj is surah number 22 from the Holy Qur'an, and we shall find this ayat, this verse, in part number 17. So as usual, at first we shall go to the recitation as well as meaning of this ayat, of this verse. Then inshallah we shall go to the elaborate discussion. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حنفاء لله غير مشركين به ومن يشرك بالله فكأنما خر من السماء فتخطفه الطير أو تهوي به الريح في مكان سحيق صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, Subhanallahil azim, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin abdika wa rasulik. I seek refuge, I seek shelter to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the accursed devil, from the accursed shaitan, and I am beginning with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is most merciful, most beneficent. Hunafa lillahi ghayra mushrikeen bih. Be a true Muslim and do not make partner, do not associate partner, do not join partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَكَأَنَّمَا خَرَّ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. Those who have joined partner, those who have made partners with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their example is as they have fallen from the sky, from the heaven. Fataq tafuhut tayr, and when they have fallen from the sky, a bird has snatched him. A bird has taken him away. أو تهوي به الريح في مكان سحيق, or the wind has taken him to a place which is very far. Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said the truth, and His prophets and messengers have also said the truth, and we are among the witnesses. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the greatest. O Allah, bless your Prophet and your servant Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this was the recitation as well as meaning of verse number 31 of Suratul Hajj. At first, I would like to say one thing. This verse, this ayat was revealed about 1500 years ago, about 1500 years ago. And at that time, people could not imagine, people did not know that one day man will fly in the sky through aeroplane. That means at that time, invention of aeroplane was not imaginary. At that time, man cannot think that one day people will fly over the sky. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the early signs in the Holy Qur'an that one day man will fly in the sky. Today we are flying in the sky. Now we are going to any state of this world through aeroplane. But at that time, it was not imaginary. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the Holy Qur'an, this Holy Qur'an is a complete code of life for us. This Holy Qur'an has given us instruction. How shall we lead our personal life? How shall we lead our family life? How shall we lead our social life? As well as how shall we lead our state life? There is no field of our life where this Holy Qur'an has not given us guidance. In all respects of our life, this Holy Qur'an is giving us direction. And today's subject matter is regarding making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Being a Muslim, being a true believer of Islam, being an being an actual believer of Islam, it will be our faith that our Creator is only one and He is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have any partner. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have any son. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have any daughter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have any wife. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having family. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having any partner. And here in verse number 31, Suratul Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrating the fate, the consequence of a non-believer of Islam. If a person dies being non-believer of Islam, he will be thrown to the hellfire. As soon as he will die, he will be thrown in the hell, in the fire. There is no chance of him to be admitted in the heaven because he is non-believer of Islam. A non-believer of Islam will never go in the heaven. Heaven is prohibited for a non-believer of Islam. And here in verse number 31, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to be a faithful Muslim, to be a sincere Muslim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us not to make any partner with Him. And in the next portion of this verse, in the next portion of this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrating the fate, F-A-T-E, fate, meaning luck, that means luck. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrating the fate, the consequence of a non-Muslim, non-believer of Islam. And what will be his consequence? وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَكَأَنَّمَا خَرَّ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. Suppose you are traveling through aeroplane. You are going to USA, United States of America. And the aeroplane is going forward towards the America about 30,000 feet above. And unfortunately, you are a passenger and you have been fallen from the aeroplane. If you have been fallen from the aeroplane, what will be what will be your fate? When you will be fallen from the aeroplane, a vulture or any other animal will snatch you, or the wind will take you to a far place, unknown place. Nobody will find your dead body. So, if a person is fallen from the sky, it means he will be destroyed. As like as that, if a person dies without accepting the invitation of oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if a person dies without accepting Islam, he or she must be thrown in the hellfire. This is the substance of verse number 31 of Suratul Hajj. So, from this Tafsirul Mahfil, I would like to invite all the non-believers of this world. Please think, whom are you worshipping? Who is being worshipped by you? The time has come to think over it. Now, inshallah, we shall go to some relevant verses. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. First relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 73 from Suratul Hajj. Verse number 73 from Suratul Hajj. Here, Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has given a nice example, a nice illustration for the human being to think whom they are worshipping. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is saying in verse number 73, Suratul Hajj, Ya ayyuhan nasu duriba masalun fastami'u lah. Innal ladhina tad'una min dunillahi la yakhluqu dhubaban wa la yajtama'u lah. Wa yaslubhumu dhubabu shay'an la yastankizuhu min ضعف الطالب والمطلوب. Ya ayyuhan nas, O people of the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing all the people of this world, all the human beings of this world. Either he is a Muslim, or he is a Hindu, or he is a Christian, or he is a Jews, or he is a Qadiani. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing all the human beings of this world. Duriba masalun fastami'u lah. O people of the world, an example is being given, an illustration is being given. Please hear attentively, listen. Innal ladhina tad'una min dunillahi la yakhluqu dhubaba. O people of the world, you are worshipping an idol or images, an idol or image. You are worshipping a doll made of stone, made of mud. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if all the false creator of this world get together, they will not be able, they do not have capacity to create even a fly. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِن يَسْلُبْهُمُ الذُّبَابُ شَيْئًا لَا يَسْتَنْقِذُوهُ مِنْ. Let alone creating a fly. If a fly takes anything in front of them, they do not have capacity to bring back that thing from the fly. ضعف الطالب والمطلوب. How weak are those who pray, and how weak are those to whom they pray. So, by giving this example in verse number 73, Suratul Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking all the non-believers of Islam. Suppose the Hindu communities worship the idol, doll, made of stone and mud. Whether a doll or image has any power to create even a fly? The answer is no. Let alone creating a fly. If the fly takes away anything in front of them, are they capable to bring back that thing from the fly? The answer is no. So why you are worshipping the idol? This idol does not have any power to do good or bad for you. Why you are worshipping these idols and images? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a nice example in verse number 73 from Suratul Hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking all the people who used to worship idols and images. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pointing finger to their eyes to come under the shelter of oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to come under the umbrella of Tawheed. Ma Tawheedu, what is Tawheed? At-Tawheedu Imanun billahi wahid. Tawheed means having faith on only one creator, and he is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now inshallah we shall go to relevant verse Suratul, verse number 41 from Suratul Ankabut. Here Almighty Allah has given another nice example regarding Tawheed, regarding oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In verse number 41, Suratul Ankabut. Suratul Ankabut is surah number 29 in the Holy Qur'an. In verse number 41, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ كَمَثَلِ الْعَنكَبُوتِ اتَّخَذَتْ بَيْتًا وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْعَنكَبُوتِ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. Those who worship any other thing, any other false god other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their example is as like as the house of a spider. As you know, the spiders used to make their house, and the house of the spiders are the weakest houses in the world. If you touch the house of the spider, it will be vanished. It will be broken. If wind blows, the house of the spiders are destroyed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 41, Suratul Ankabut, those who are worshipping any other god other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their example, their illustration is as like as the house of a spider. Since the house of a spider cannot help anyone, it is useless. The false god other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only actual creator of everything. So all the gods, all the creators, false creators, those who are worshipped by people other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are as like as the house of a spider. So, time has come to think over it. You are Christian. You are worshipping Jesus Christ. Nauzubillahi min zalik. You are Jews. You are also worshipping other God than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You used to say that Uzair alayhi salam is the son of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nauzubillahi min zalik. You are making partner by saying this. The Christians are making partner by saying that Jesus Christ is the son of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nauzubillahi min zalik. So the Christians, the Jews, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Qadianis, or any other, or followers of any other religion other than Islam, time has come for them to think over it. Whom you are worshipping? You are worshipping an idol which does not have any power to do good or bad for you. Now inshallah, we shall go to some other relevant verse. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. In verse number 48, Suratul Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ وَمَن يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ افْتَرَى إِثْمًا عَظِيمًا. In verse number 48, Suratul Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive those who make partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive anyone. But if we make partner with Him, this grievous sin, this extreme sin, this extreme offense of making partner, of assigning partner, of joining partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be forgiven by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given declaration in verse number 48, Suratul Nisa. And in the next portion of this verse number 48, Suratul Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ افْتَرَىٰ إِثْمًا عَظِيمًا. Who have made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have involved themselves in a great sin, in an extreme sin, in an extreme offense. So this was verse number 48, and next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 116 from Suratul Nisa. About same thing has been uttered by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 116, Suratul Nisa. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bihi wa yaghfiru ma duna dhalika liman yasha. About the same thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive those who have assigned partners with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive those who have made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And otherwise, any other offense will be forgiven by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive any other offense other than making partner with Him. وَمَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا بَعِيدًا. Those who have made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have implicated them in the extreme misguide, wrong way. That means they will be, if they die without accepting Islam, they will be thrown in the fire, in the hell. So this was verse number 48 and 116 of Suratul Nisa, relevant in today's tafsir. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 191 from Suratul A'raf. In verse number 191, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, أَيُشْرِكُونَ مَا لَا يَخْلُقُ شَيْئًا وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ. O people of the world, you are worshipping the idols and images. Whether these idols and images have created anything, they have not created anything. Moreover, they have been created. An idol is being made with stone. Stone is created by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. An idol is being made by mud, by soil, by earth. Earth, mud is created by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And hence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, أَيُشْرِكُونَ مَا لَا يَخْلُقُ شَيْئًا وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ. Whether they have created anything, moreover, they have been created by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was verse number 191 from Suratul A'raf, relevant in today's tafsir. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 106. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated more clearly. وَلَا تَدْعُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُكَ وَلَا يَضُرُّكَ. Just I have said, you are worshipping an idol which does not have any power to do any good or bad for you. It can neither give you any betterment, nor it can do any harm to you. Why you are worshipping an idol? Why you are worshipping an image? فَإِن فَعَلْتَ فَإِنَّكَ إِذًا مِّنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And those who are worshipping idols and images, those who are accepting any other God other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are inserting themselves, they are including themselves among those who are wrongdoers, who are wrongdoers, Jalem. So, time has come to think over it. Whom we are worshipping? Whether we are worshipping an idol which does not have any power to do good or bad for me? Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 102 from Suratul Kahf. Verse number 102, Suratul Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, أَفَحَسِبَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَن يَتَّخِذُوا عِبَادِي مِن دُونِي أَوْلِيَاءَ إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا جَهَنَّمَ لِلْكَافِرِينَ نُزُلًا. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly declared that you are worshipping my servants. You will be astonished to hear, to know that nowadays people used to worship another people. In the name of Peer, they are claiming themselves as the Peer, as the scholar of Islam. And they are being prostrated by the people. It is an heinous offense, extreme offense. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Inna a'tadna jahannama lil kafirina nuzula. Those who are making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 102, Suratul Kahf, that I have prepared punishment for them, extreme punishment for them. Next relevant verse is, earlier was 102 from Suratul Kahf, and now is 110 from Suratul Kahf. In verse number 102, Suratul Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, قُلْ إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ يُوحَى إِلَيَّ أَنَّمَا إِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. O Prophet, tell the people, I am a man like you. But the difference is that revelation has come to me from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is the revelation? Order has come to me from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the order? Ilahukum ilahu wahid. Your God, your creator is only one. So, those who want to have a meeting with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the life of hereafter, they must accept Islam, and after accepting Islam, they must do good deeds. And he or she must stand on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He or she will not make any partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So precondition to enter in the heaven, in the life of hereafter, is to bring faith on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A true Muslim will never associate partner. A true Muslim will never make partner. A true Muslim will never join partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 25 from Suratul Anbiya. In verse number 25 Suratul Anbiya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونَ. Verse number 25. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made clear that earlier Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent innumerous, countless prophets and messengers. But all the prophets and messengers were directed to spread three things, to preach three things. First, everyone invited people towards the Tawheed. What is Tawheed? At-Tawheedu imanun bi ilahi wahid. Tawheed means bringing faith on only one creator, and he is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the prophets and messengers invited people towards the Tawheed. And secondly, all the prophets and messengers preached, told the people that they were the prophet or messenger of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And thirdly, it is common regarding each and every prophets and messengers. All the prophets and messengers invited people to the oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying that one day you will meet death. One day you will die. And after your death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will revive you in the life of hereafter to take accounts of your activities. That means all the prophets and messengers invited people towards the life of hereafter, akhirat. So, three things were common regarding all the prophets and messengers: Tawheed, Risalat, and Akhirat. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رُسُلٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونَ. All the prophets and messengers invited people by saying, your creator, my creator, creator of everything is only one, and he is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, worship only for him and for no other, for no one else. This was verse number 25 from Suratul Anbiya. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 91 and 92 from Suratul Mu'minun. Suratul Mu'minun is surah number 23 from in the Holy Qur'an. 91 and 92, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, مَتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ مِنْ وَلَدٍ وَمَا كَانَ مَعَهُ مِنْ إِلَٰهٍ إِذًا لَذَهَبَ كُلُّ إِلَٰهٍ بِمَا خَلَقَ وَلَعَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ سُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ عَالِمُ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ فَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يُشْرِكُونَ. Verse number 91 and 92, Suratul Mu'minun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not got any son. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having son or daughter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having wife. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here giving a nice example, a nice illustration. Had there any partner of him, his partner would have taken away his creatures. And then we would have seen indiscipline in the earth. Whether we have seen any indiscipline, suppose the sun rises in the east and sets on the west. After day, nights come. Everything is being occurred in one rule. That means Creator is only one, and He is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything, whether visible or not visible. Everything seen or unseen, everything is being known by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from the fault of having any partner with Him. Next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 28 from Suratul Fatir. In verse number 28, Suratul Fatir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ وَالدَّوَابِّ وَالْأَنْعَامِ مُخْتَلِفٌ أَلْوَانُهُ كَذَلِكَ إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ غَفُورٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 28, Suratul Fatir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created countless, innumerous men, animals, beasts, and many creatures. The jinn, the angels, but among the creatures of Him, the scholars of Islam, they fear Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most. Ulama, alimun. Alimun is the singular number, ulama is the plural number. The people who have gathered knowledge of Islam, they fear Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most. Because they have gathered knowledge from Qur'an and Sahih Hadith. So without earning knowledge of Qur'an and Hadith, a man cannot be a true man. A man cannot be an actual man. In order to become an actual man, in order to become a true man, one must gather knowledge of Qur'an and Sahih Hadith. And in Suratul Anbiya and Suratul Nahl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said categorically, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. O people of the world, if you do not know, ask the scholars of Islam, ulama, alim. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not directed us to ask the king. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not directed us to ask the minister. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has referred people of this world to the ulama. Innal ulama warasatul anbiya. The scholars of Islam, they will inherit the Prophet. Allahu Akbar. Warasatul anbiya. Allahu Akbar. So knowledge of Islam, knowledge of Quran and Hadith is very much necessary for each and every Muslim. And for that reason, there is a hadith, Talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli Muslim. So, in today's Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, we have discussed regarding making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who are making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are assigning partners with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are joining partners with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are doing an extreme offense, an extreme sin. And if they do not come back from this sin, and if they die in that position, in making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously, as soon as they will die, they will be thrown in the hellfire. There is no chance for them to be admitted in the heaven. Now, inshallah, we shall go to some relevant hadiths. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. First relevant hadith in today's tafsir is An Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الإسلام أن تشهدوا أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله رواه البخاري ومسلم. This hadith has been narrated by second Khalifa, Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu. He said, Islam means you will bear witness that there is no creator but Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Hazrat Muhammad Islam is the messenger of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Rawahul Bukhari wa Muslim. Next relevant hadith in today's tafsir is An Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala Man halafa bi ghayri Allahi faqad ashrak. As we know, the non-Muslims are making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are going out of Islam in making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here, if a Muslim swear by the name of anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it means he is making partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A true Muslim will never swear by anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man halafa bi ghayri Allahi faqad ashrak. Those who have sworn anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means he has made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we want to swear, we must swear by the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rawahu Tirmizi. So, swearing with anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means making partner with him. And hence, in this hadith, it has been said by our beloved Prophet, Man halafa bi ghayrillahi faqad ashrak. Anyone who swears by anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means he is making partner with him. Rawahu Tirmizi. Now, this hadith is very important for us. We used to do good deeds. The motto, the aim of doing any good deeds by us will be for the satisfaction of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we do any good deeds, any good deed, for the satisfaction, for the pleasement, for the pleasure of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then inshallah we shall get good reward from it. But if we do any good deed to show people, it will go in vain. We shall not get any benefit. We shall not get any benefit from that good deeds. And here, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here, our beloved Prophet is saying, An Shaddad ibn Awsin radhiyallahu anhu qala, qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, yaqul, Man salla yurahi faqad ashrak, Man sama yurahi faqad ashrak, Man tashaddaka yurahi faqad ashrak. Rawahu Ahmad. Those who have offered prayer to show people, it means he or she has made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who have kept fasting in the month of Ramadan or any time, who have kept fasting to show people, that means he or she has made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those who have spent money to show people, that means he has made partner with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So hadith is very clear. Man salla yurai faqad ashrak, man sama yurai faqad ashrak, man tashaddaqa yurai faqad ashrak. Rawahu Ahmad. So, our aim in doing any good deed should be for the satisfaction, for the pleasure of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for nothing else. And if we do any good deed for the pleasure, for the satisfaction of only Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it may be a petty good deed, it may be a small good deed, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us vast reward from this petty good deed, because we have done this only for the pleasure of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So before doing any good deed, our aim will be for the satisfaction of only one, and He is Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for no one else. So inshallah, now we shall pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before offering prayer, let us recite durood to our beloved Prophet. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma amin. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب هب لي من الصالحين رب زدني علما أستغفر الله اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Oh Allah, we some of your servants have been gathered here and we have discussed from your Holy Qur'an and Sahih Hadith. Oh Allah, we have made many mistakes. Please forgive our all mistakes and accept this Tafsirul Mahfil. Oh Allah, we are the sinner. We are the sinners. We have made many sins. Please forgive our all sins. Oh Allah, please convert our all sins into good deeds. Oh Allah, you know what is in our heart. Please forgive our all good deeds. Please fulfill our all good desires in our heart. Oh Allah, please increase our sustenance. Increase our hayats. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.